Alright, let's finish up this subframe for this KX125 build. Got the wire on it, marking where that leg needs to be. See how far off it is. Alright, so I did say we're going to finish the subframe. We're chucking this thing up in the vise. We got our measurement and our mark where that one leg needs to be. And we're going to crank up the acetylene, fire up the oxygen, get this torch fired up. We're going to heat this thing up and get our little bendy tool on there and get this subframe twisted to where it needs to be. Now, after the fact of making this video, we actually squirreled a couple of times and ended up ripping the entire bike down to nothing. Breaking it down, getting it prepped for powder coat. So this video also has a lot of the bike ripped down. We've got pretty much the LTZ 400 subframe, which we are modifying right now to fit on the 95 KX125 frame. I have cut down the mount points and moved them some. I did realize that a couple of the mount points are not exactly where they need to be, so we will be making another video on finishing the subframe 100%. Having it perfect, that way we can sandblast it, powder coat it, done with it. Now that I have just the bare frame, because everything's all ripped down, I can easily throw the frame up on the bench, put the subframe on it, make a couple of little tweaks that we need to, get it exactly where it needs to be, and be done with it. So, hit that subscribe button. We got a bunch of different builds going on at this point in time. Warrior Trike is getting attention. The 86 KX125 conversion is getting attention. We are waiting for the owner to get the new plastics that he said he had on order, so we're waiting on that before we can set the subframe. Rear end is completely together. I've got to finish polishing the front rim, put that back on, and the front end will be done. Still waiting on the plastics in the seat so that we can finish up the subframe. Other than that, we got a bunch of done checks on that build. It's a wonderful thing. As you can see, we're heating up this metal tube a lot. We're spreading the orange out over a 3 to 4 inch spot so we can get a nice, even, easy bend on it. You get it nice and orange, float the flame around, and just a little bit of pressure, and it will start moving that tube. We're just trying to get the tube to line up where the end of that little wire is. That way we know it's exactly where it should be. After we're done messing with it, tweaking it and everything, we find out, no, it's not exactly where it needs to be. So, like I said, there will be another video to finish that subframe up 100%. Right now, we're going to rip this thing down. We're pulling the CDI box off of it, getting the coil off of it, all the electronics, ripping the front end off, the radiators, rear end. Suspension components have probably been on this thing since 1995. I don't think anybody's removed these bolts. Some of them were so crusty they had a bad case of I don't want it, and we had to beat on it for a while. So that's coming up too. Some of the easy stuff though, undo the band clamps on the radiators. Yeah, they've been together forever, but we'll undo the clamps, we'll undo the shrouds, unbolt the radiators, give them a little bit of a twist and wiggle, and they should, in theory, pop apart. We shall see. Hit that subscribe button. We've got memberships available. They really help out the channel. They get you early access to videos when we post multiple videos at a time and have them all scheduled out. They also get you a 10% discount on parts, and they help me out because I'm over here trying to give you guys helpful advice. You get a hold of me on the phone, over text or whatnot. We go through different builds. I talk to people daily about different builds that they're doing, three-wheeler conversions, quad work, trike work, dirt bike work, custom work, all kinds of neat stuff. You guys definitely have interesting lives and really cool projects going on. It is so fun sitting here talking to you guys on the phone. I'll talk for hours. I don't care. This is what I do. This is my life. I build bikes. I help people build bikes. I build videos. Try and show everybody what's going on. The 20, 30 people that see the videos, I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. Comments are really, really encouraged, appreciated, and they help out the most. I can talk back and forth with you guys. We can have conversations. We can joke around, get a community going. This is a YouTube channel after all. It is pretty much off-road bike focused. As you saw, the radiators came off pretty easy. This is an Allen bolt holding the brake lever on. Yeah, that didn't go so well. We got a little strippy. No, strippy's bad. Strippy's really, really bad. And my bad, because I didn't chase the threads on the backside that were sticking out to fix them so that it would thread out easy once it started moving. So yeah, we've got a my bad, and it turned into a haha, you just got bit in the butt. So coming up, it's all disassembly at this point. Get on there, get that top clamp off. Channel locks do work. Did not scratch the powder. Didn't hurt nothing. The plates are not getting repowder coated. They're still staying yellow. This is a mellow yellow build. We have done other feature builds before. We've got a Monster Energy build. We've got a 310Z with a Red Bull theme. So this is just going to be another themed bike build. This one's going to be mellow yellow, green and yellow. Going to end up really cool. I'm working on the LTZ 400 plastics. They're yellow. They were spray painted black. So trying to get those cleaned up and polished up. And we're back with the duckbill vice grips. Try and get this bolt out. Yeah, it took a lot of work. Gotta sit there and get things situated. Hold on to it. Is it gonna move? Yep, barely. We do get it to move a little bit though. Once it starts moving and creaking, we give it a little bit of lube. Eventually, give her some taps and love hits. Some of this stuff you just can't be gentle with. I'm 50. I'm over trying to be gentle with stuff. If it requires fire and a big hammer, we throw fire and a big hammer at it, because we've been down this road before. And we know how hard certain things can be. That's what 35 plus years of experience do, is they let you know pretty much what the project's going to be like as you're going through. You run across problems, you hope for the best, and prepare for the worst. This was, I'm working, you're fighting me, and I'm fighting you, and I will come out. But as soon as the end of that bolt hit the nut that's welded on the frame, it stopped. And that was the end of it. She snapped. And then I snapped. And yes, things do go flying when I snap. It happens, and it happened on camera. So, yep, in a little while you're going to hear a little bit of cursing. You're going to see a couple of things go flying. And, it happens. It's fun with working with stuff. We're breaking out the fire. And, of course, we get a wiggle, but, yeah, the camera's not pointed all the way back far enough. I'm gonna get in there. Look at this bolt. It's crusty. I really should have chased the threads on this thing and gave it a lot more attention instead of just trying to force it. And now I'm bit in the butt, and now I've got to deal with a snapped off bolt that's sticking out roughly about 1.5 inches. So I got a lot to play with. It's just, we got to get there. The frame will be on the bench, and that's probably when we're going to address that. And we'll get that on video too. So definitely subscribe, because we got some cool stuff going on. And problems, yeah, we run into all kinds of different problems in this shop. This is nothing new. We've got videos of all kinds of weird stuff. Snapped cranks, blown out cases, some stuff that is just absolutely bonkers weird. Like, you looking at it going, what happened? There's over 1,000 videos on this channel. This channel has been around over 12 years. We're still fighting to get monetized, still fighting to get views, but it is what it is. I enjoy the people that are here. I thank everybody for watching, and I enjoy the people that comment. Yeah, there's always those few trolls that got to come in and say something, but it's easy enough just to remove the comment. Still counts as a comment, just nobody gets to see it. And chances are, if it's a long-winded paragraph, or you screaming at me about something that you don't like, or factory says to do this, or I was taught to do that, well, I'll probably get about a sentence into it and delete it. I'm done. I'm not playing the game of you're not doing it right. I'm the person that they come to when nobody else can get it done. I'm the person they come to when they're told no over and over and over and over again. The 86 KX125, dude talked to 6 different people. They all said no. After 15 minutes of talking to him, I was like, this is going to be an absolute cool build. This is one of the first conversions that I started every bit of 8 years ago. It's been hiding in a corner somewhere, just not getting any attention. Didn't really have a motor to go in it. Didn't really have a lot to do. So it's just been sitting. Had no funds going at it. Right now, I just got a hair up my butt, and I want to get this thing powder coated. Seeing the nice, pretty 86 KX125 right next to this crusty, old, wore down, broken down 95 KX125. You got one, yeah, you want to mess with it. It's pretty. You want to work on it. You want to touch it. The other one just looks like you're going to get dirty looking at it. So we're going to fix that problem. The shock needs to be rebuilt. There will be a video on that. We're going to powder coat the frame, sandblast everything, chase all the holes, make sure all the holes are tapped well. Go through this, and there's the toss. There's the toss. And over comes Tony. What'd you do? Well, brake lever comes off now. We have a bonus. I did get the brake system off. The goal was to get the brake system off. The brake system came off. So, goal accomplished. We just have the problem of fixing the bolt. Later.
Is it the knuckle? Foot peg?
Brake.
Brake.
Broke.
Where?
Should have fucking cut it off flush and then pulled it out instead of taking it the rest of the way out and figuring the nut would thread it. Fuck me. Alright, back to work after we've had our little temper tantrum. We're gonna pull the shock off. What do we got going 14 mil up top. It's tight. Hit it with a hammer. You can't get a ratchet in there, and you can't get a gun in there. There's no room. You gotta use a wrench. So, yeah, we get in there with a wrench, hit it with a hammer, loosen it up, spin it out with a finger. Top one comes out fine. The lower pivot on the frame, on the other hand, the nut threads off. It spins, but it is corroded to the inner bearing collar. Just like with swing arm pivot bolts that don't want to come out, which end up being seized to the inner bearing collars, and that's why they don't want to come out. This is the same deal. This is why I put Delrin in all of my builds. I don't use ball bearings, roller bearings in the suspension anymore. I use Delrin bushings that I custom make here in-house for all of the bearings and bushings because it works. It works really well, and there's no muck factor. You don't get the corrosion. The bolts don't get stuck. You don't have to grease it. It's a win-win all the way around. I have not had any problem with any of my Delrin swing arm bushings that I've put on. We got seasons of motocross on these bushings. It doesn't wear. It's amazing. Absolutely love the Delrin bushings. Probably the best upgrade that you can do on a bike. Get down there. Some more tappas. I'm actually using the end of the wrench to try and knock on the end of the bolt to get it to go somewhere to see if it would go anywhere. And no. So we get in there with a little bit of a punch and a pry bar. Try and hit things. Get forceful. Call it all kinds of different names. Sometimes if you call it the right name, it does come apart. This is also not a situation where you can get heat to where it needs to be. So, being that you cannot technically heat up the inside bearing collar, then there's no point in hitting it with heat. You can try and spray some lube in there, but as grimy and see, that's just ick. As grimy and grungy as it is in there, when you add the lube, it's just going to turn it into some kind of pasty mud, and it's not going to help much at all. So brute strength and ignorance, a lot of time, a lot of cursing, a lot of beating will get that bolt out. The right tool also helps. I know I've got a crow's foot around here, one of them crow's foot long punches, and I just have not taken the time to go look for it yet. We're going to sit there and fight with stupidity for a little while because, yeah, autism, and there we go. There's the right tool. The power of editing. You can take an hour's worth of fight and break it down to a very little amount of time. Yep, you guys aren't going to sit there and watch me beat on something for an hour. I got to make these videos kind of interesting so that you stick around and you actually talk, maybe? I mean, yeah, let me know what you ride. Make some noise down in the comments. Tell me what you think about these videos, what you want to see. Do you have any mechanical questions? Ask away. I'm always willing to help spread the advice or spread the knowledge that I've got with decades of experience. When I die, that's it. It's gone. If I don't share it with somebody, then it goes with me. So this is why we've got the YouTube channel. Take the knowledge that I've learned over the 35 plus years of doing all this stuff, be it bikes, cars, whatever, and share it with the masses. That way, if you guys have problems, questions, or whatnot, there might be a video on the page to help you out. We've got fork rebuild videos, shock rebuild videos, countless engine rebuild videos. I do all kinds of different strange, weird, out-of-the-box things with motors. It's about balancing and blueprinting. I was raised by engine builders, race car drivers, engineers, fabricators, top mechanics. I mean, yeah, there's not a whole lot that I'm going to say I can't do. Is there a lot of stuff I don't like doing? Yeah.
I should have done that
like
with
wiring.
With the
But I'll
Suzuki
do it.
Yellow, but I wasn't aware
really
of how much I was
do,
going to
though,
like it.
enjoy
versus
the fact that
fucking
I can
cute
pretty
yellow
much
that's supposed to
stick
be
with
Yamaha
custom builds. I'm definitely privileged enough and thankful that I am privileged enough to be able to sit back and do custom builds, play in the motocross and racing three-wheeler and quad industry mainly. I don't have to dip out the side-by-sides and utilities or any of that other stuff. I can, but I don't want to. I absolutely enjoy what I'm doing right now. It might be frustrating. It might be taking time. It might be making me go bald and get more extra gray hairs. But I am absolutely loving it. We got a motocross track in the backyard. If you're new to the channel, we've got ride videos. It is not a little dinky turn track. There's an 80-plus foot triple, 60-plus foot table, 50-plus foot double. We've got a freestyle ramp. I mean, yeah, this is not a little turn track. This was a track that was designed third, fourth gear for the Dade City Quad
Give me a
champion.
kiss, though.
He needed something to practice at. Tony was my sponsored rider. So yeah, a third, fourth gear, full out practice track was needed. And there we have it, all broken down, ready to go. There's the yellow plastics. It is going to need new tires, but it's all broken down, apart, ready to go. Get her powder coat finished up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Throw the number 75 down in there just for comments' sake.